In the ditch is a metacognitive and growth mindset combination. Here is the research behind it, the philosophy that drives it. In 2011, I commenced work on levels of learning, initially selecting only 3 levels: know, do, and transfer, linking these initially to student goals. They were then used alongside programs I had created. Bloom's has always been my go-to theorist, especially when it comes to the cognitive processes, so I set out to adapt his concepts, although loosely. In 2012, I decided by adapting Bloom's metacognitive approach to aligning it to the programs I had begun to create, I could break down understandings further, realizing that regardless of level, all students need to understand their own learning and best approach. Having only previously considered levels of learning for lower students, I was soon to realize my mistake. Here you can see the levels of learning and the levels of scaffolding I'd used with regards to programs and student goals. It was only through the utilization of this tool that I realized something was missing. In 2014, I attended the Gold Coast Gifted and Talented Conference, where I first heard about the DIP, although the focus here was on gifted and talented or highly capable students. Students that appear to float through high school without any difficulties, and yet when it comes to the real world, university for example, have no idea how to get out of the DIP. James Nottingham has also done something around this concept recently. So I decided to combine both the DIP concept and the levels of learning in order to explicitly teach metacognitive and growth mindset to all students, regardless of level. It's all about the steps to get yourself out. Utilizing metacognitive processes, students identify and evaluate their levels of learning. Students analyze their level of learning with a step-by-step method in order to create and reconstruct their own understandings. Students learn to know what they don't know. The levels of learning, or the steps to get out of the ditch, are a common meta language we use as a class. Every student will be at a different level depending on what we are learning, and this eventually is accepted for the whole class. They understand that everyone learns at different levels. So if you're considering your lower students or your upper 2 band students, it remains the same. All students should have high expectations regardless of their level. If they're not in the ditch, they're not learning.